Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have-nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show.
And so those things together, I thought, man, this is bad. This man's, I just lost my baby, and it's clear I'm married to a sociopath. And so that it was such a huge thing. And the two things together were just almost too much for me mentally. And I just, gave up on trying to fix him, obviously, and also gave up on trying to steer Oath Keepers into a less crazy direction, which he really wasn't listening to me anyway. And I just stopped, just no interest in any of it. And then Sam Andrews, after the Ferguson riots, where Stewart claimed they were just there protecting all the rights of everybody, they weren't taking sides. They were just, but it depended on who he was talking to, how he said it,
Yeah.
So Sam Andrews basically said, okay, well, if what you're saying is true, you support everyone's rights, let's do this. At the time, open carry marches were very trendy. I think this was 2013, 2014, somewhere there. But Black folks can't do an open carry march, they'll get shot, right. And so let's help them. And Stewart claimed he was interested in this, and I actually perked up. I thought, what? Okay. And I got with the web guys and make me some artwork up. And so, Solidarity March, they made up some artwork, a BLM Solidarity March. They were going to get together with some Black veterans, and the Black veterans were going to teach the community about gun safety. And I thought this was going to be great. This was the most interesting thing I'd ever heard. I thought it will certainly be, put your money where your mouth is. You claim this is what you're about, then just do it.
Yeah.
And no. He claimed he was going to do it. He got all ready, and I said, "Aren't you supposed to be flying out to Ferguson to meet with the BLM leaders?" And Sam Andrews was already meeting with them.
Yeah,
and he made up excuse after excuse. Then he dug up, ironically, Sam Andrews' divorce records, and said, "Look at this. He was accused of all kinds of crazy things in this divorce. We can't have someone like that running. We'll have to find somebody else." And I was like, "Well, find somebody else."
Wow.
How hard could that be? How about instead of finding someone else, it's just you? Why don't you just go down there and meet with them? But no, that was it.
Yeah.
And
so much for 2A.
So much. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been quite the opportunity. It would have been kind of fascinating, frankly.
Yeah.
But no. So it's pretty clear.
It's like that saying that people always mention, if we all of a sudden armed every Black person in the country, all of a sudden the NRA and all these other white supremacists would go, I'm not so sure about 2A rights.
Yeah. And, it's you get in this bubble of, I always heard all this nonsense about, we're not racist, we're not this, we're not that. And, it sort of started to change my mind about, maybe, I'd spent all these years trying to tell people, no, there's no racism. And,
yeah.
I mean, and of course there is even, I guess I look at it like, in Stewart's world, they're not racist, but it's much more, even in his world, it's much more of a 1990s definition of what racist is, which is overt,
right.
And, there's still the ever present racism was, that idea of America is rosy cheeks in a stadium with hot dogs and apple pie kind of idea, which is a whole different type of racism. And
I call it the polite racism.
Yeah.
Which is what we had in our family. It's, well, you don't say the N word in public, but, at home, you can make all the jokes you want. And, you don't associate with people of other colors because that wouldn't be right. And, but you pretend
Yeah, and they
Put on a
say
good
absurd
show.
things that don't make any sense. Well, we can't be racist. My friend can't be racist. He's, his wife is Filipino, right? No,
Yeah.
but he treats her like shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. They don't understand that at the core of it, racism is you believe that you are different and better
and better.
because of your skin color.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to. I don't care how nice you are in public. I don't care if you don't use the N word ever. If you think you're better than other people because of the color of their skin or their nationality, you're racist.
Yeah. And it's a preference. They have a preference, they have a preference for, well, these are my people.
Yeah.
There's that idea. Yeah. And that is very prevalent in the movement.
Yeah. And I mean, it's in the Proud Boys, it's in the 3%ers. I mean, it's just,
and tokenism.
It's a through line.
And what tokenism, and a lot of tokenism for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Stewart's famous for his tokenism. Just like, I have one black friend. He's going to be at my side every time the cameras roll.
Right. And that's why they love putting Enrique Tarrio out there out front. And, they love having Candace Owens, the Trump people, because, I mean, it just proves their point. We couldn't possibly be racist if we accept this person, just like, Yeah. I know what you mean.
People wonder why I laugh, but I disassociate from my own story so much that I just the more insane it is and the more traumatic it is, I think I just laugh more. It's just so what else can you do? It's
like that old saying, you laugh to keep from crying.
Yeah.
That's the alternative,
Yeah, it really
and
is.
you probably step back, I'm sure sometimes and go, did I live this life? I mean, was this actually, know?
Even when I've been writing my book, I've been working on it. I'm a terrible procrastinator with it, though. I know people want to read it. And then I think, I'm working on it and I'm working on it. And I think maybe my writing skill level is like, maybe if I do my very, very best, I'm almost good enough to write this. Like my talent is not that, I'm not quite up to it, but almost up to it. So it's really,
you got stewarded through law school. So I'm pretty sure that your writing skills are very good.
But I was reading through some of it and I started crying because I'm reading it and I'd written, you put something away after you've written it and then you read it back and you kind of forgot that you read it. And I just, kind of one of the first times I've cried over. I just sat down and cried because I felt so bad for the protagonist. I thought, wait a minute.
I think when you're living through something, you almost become kind of numb to it at a certain point just to get through it, just so you don't lose your mind. But then you look back on it and go, holy crap, like that was not normal. Especially when you get out into the normal world and you see what relationships are supposed to be like, what marriages are supposed to be like, how children are supposed to be treated. And then you have this realization of, oh my God, like, that was insane.
And I always wondered what went through Stewart's mind when he interacted with other people who had normal lives. He talked about when he was traveling, he mentioned that one of the husbands said that, oh yeah, I was the driver for my wife and her friends when they had a girls' night out. And I thought, wife and her friends, and they had a girls' night, like all those things were so foreign, to even have a friend or to go out for coffee or even drinks, that it was so absurd sounding. And I wondered what would go through Stewart's mind, that here's other people that do these things, And I think he just puts himself in a special category. So like, well, we don't do those things because I'm better than that. Or that's got to be what he was thinking. I don't.